Hey everyone, welcome to our AMP session today. We are joined with Emily Geary. She is our all things transactions at eXp. Emily, welcome to AMP.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had to poke and prod and pull her to be willing to do this. So we're delighted that she's taking time out of her busy schedule. Emily, just tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, that kind of stuff. Just help people get to know you a little bit better.
Okay. So I am on the Gold Coast in Queensland, and I guess before I started with EXP, I have had conveyancing background. So I was working as a paralegal for probably 5 years, and then got into the real estate industry, all behind the scenes, so all admin work. I've worked for property developers, builders, pretty
And you've
much.
been with eXp a long time now.
I think I am now the oldest eXp
Yeah.
Australia corporate member.
Yeah, that's
Back
it.
when it very first even came to Australia, before we even launched, I was
Yeah.
in the background. So um, it's been amazing, and I don't plan on going anywhere. So
Yeah.
you're stuck with me.
That's cool. And so you remember when the transaction numbers were zero. Tell us about how many deals a month you are currently assisting with now.
So January this year, just gone, was our biggest settlement month to date, and that was 140 settlements,
Yeah.
which is just huge. And but look, it's
That's a
not just
lot of moving parts.
well, we have at the moment 215 contracts,
Yeah.
and you think conveyances, there's two sides, both communicating with each other. I'm CC'd into everything. I
Five
have to
different states with five different protocols.
I have to read everything, even if it's not something that I need to action. I just need to make sure in the background
Yeah.
EXP is doing what they need to be doing,
Yeah.
and just showing also the conveyances that EXP agents have an admin team supporting them behind the scenes. So it's not just agents on their own. They have almost, a mini admin team behind them that
Yeah.
they can support from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So walk us through if there is such a thing as a normal deal. Walk us. I know there's not, but let's say that there is. So an agent's in the field. They may have done a home open on the weekend or whatnot. They've written an offer up. Um, just for those that might be new agents, what's that process like for them to get the information to you to help and all that? Take it, just kind of walk us through.
Okay, so I guess at the very, very beginning, when agents come on, Renee and myself, we hold a meet and greet every fortnight on a Monday. And this is just to let agents know who we are and what we do. So then when it comes time to them having the executed contract, they then know, okay, who's the next contact person and what do we do? Once we've had that meet and greet, I always mention to agents when you are getting ready to get your executed contract or you know one's coming up, let's book in a one-on-one and we can go through the whole process together because it's easier to train, I guess, with your own contracts rather than with sort of dummy contracts.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we like to do that so that when you have the executed contract, you know the process, you know how the system works, you know what needs to be entered into Agent Box. But I typically don't really start my stuff until that fully completed document is in my inbox, and that's where I then send that out to the conveyancers, let them know who's who and who to contact. I do ask for them to include my email into anything going on with the contract, just so if there is anything behind the scenes that we can assist on, I can respond. So if they're looking for contact details, if there's not any on the contract, I can get that over to them. Sometimes conveyancers need us to reconfirm how much we hold in the trust account several times. And that's just me bridging the gap between them and Renee to make sure that they've got all the information they need. Um, it is quite a bit of a lengthy process, I guess, contract to settlement. just making sure all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, making sure the full deposit has been noted that it's been paid. Then I obviously communicate with Renee and let her know that it's ready for invoice, which is a huge step to make sure conveyancers have our paperwork ready for settlement. And then settlement is a big one. So contracts going out and me processing settlements are probably the two main important things that I do during the day.
Yeah.
And then you've got all the in-between stuff.
And what about so if someone's new to EXP, they're here with us now or they're watching the recording, how do they get that contract A into the system and then B, how do they get it to you? So some there's no magic fairy that just comes and gets it out of their computer. They actually have to do some
Yeah.
actions.
I guess there's many different sort of ways to go about it. Emailing the contract over to me, I can 100% upload that onto the listings for agents, but agents do need to enter the offers into Agent Box and place that under contract. Now, when I say place it under contract, I don't mean you actually have to choose that portal option. When you enter the offer in and place it under contract in Agent Box, you have the choice of keeping it available in the system or actually having it noted as under contract. So once that whole process is done, that's when we can all, I guess, in our area, start the process. I
That's when
do
you
have,
pick it up and start
yeah, yeah.
processing it. Yeah.
And if there's anything that's gone wrong in that process, creating the offer, I can always fix things in the back end. So nothing can be sort of, yeah, nothing can go wrong. We can always fix something if it's been entered incorrectly.
Yeah, and I suppose the data entry side of things is where agents sometimes do go a little bit not rogue isn't the thing. They just are four-wheeling without any real clear direction sometimes, you know. They're clicking this button and doing that, then they're ringing you or they're ringing me and they're going, Agent Box is stupid, it doesn't work. You know, and they're getting frustrated and all that. But you can help them with that.
100%. But as long as we've got communication,
Yeah.
as long as there's some form of communication that there's an issue with something to do with inputting a conveyancer or you have neither conveyancers and you just want to create the offer, as long as we've got an email thread going on with where it's at, we can just sort of sit in the back and just wait, or we can jump in and help you as well.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And for those of us like myself that only do transactions every so often, it's like a relearning every
It
time we,
is.
we have to do it. Tell us how important the sales advice is.
So the sales advice is probably the main document that we refer back to, especially at settlement. It holds all the marketing information, the commission information, and also once the settled property is marked in Agent Box, there's a choice for the price. And this is a really big one, whether agents would like it confidential or displayed. It's eXp's policy that if this isn't noted on the sales advice that it's to be confidential, we will mark it as displayed. So that's a big one where we refer to it at settlement, and it has to be accompanied with the executed contract at the very beginning because getting it at the end is just, yeah, kind of setting us up for failure.
Yeah, and you can't really on your end, you can't really process anything without receiving those instructions from the agent.
There's a few states that actually need that document alongside the contract. Queensland doesn't, but South Australia and WA, they would like that with the contract. So it's extremely important. And until that document comes through, I'm not able to send the contract out. So it kind of stalls that process for agents in those states.
Yeah, and I know in WA we're a bit of a pain in the backside as well because we it's not always customary to get a conveyancer or a settlement agent be even before finance is approved. So they can
Yeah.
these can be dangling out there for weeks and weeks and weeks without someone being appointed.
I now have a back end system where I can track. So I uh, refrain from sending multiple emails to agents. I just have a coded system in the background that lets me know, okay, this one in particular has a buyer's conveyancer, but doesn't have a seller's
Still
conveyancer,
waiting.
and I'll just sit there and wait.
Still waiting. Yeah, no, that's so good. And you're so good at being able to work with different personalities as well, because all of us agents are very important. Just ask us. We're very, very important. And sometimes our emotions run high, but you're very able to just try and keep going stable. Um,
I
so talk
appreciate
us through.
that.
Yeah, Peter Forbes says you're very tolerant.
You
So,
can do no wrong, Peter.
yeah. But talk us through what are some of the things that agents might do that you've experienced over time where they've just kind of gone off the rails a little bit, which has caused some challenges that the rest of us can learn from.
Um,
Is it more about putting wrong data in, not supplying the data,
I think
being
it's not
confused?
supplying, the information because if it's wrong, I can fix it. That's the main thing. But if it's not there to begin with, and especially when we're getting the deposits before we're even aware that there is a contract, it's like the horse before the cart kind of situation. It's always good to have the offer in there so that the funds can be receipted. But then if the funds are receipted and that's being sent out by Renee before I send the contract, then the conveyancers are chasing us for the contract. And it's kind of double handling and just filling our inbox with emails that kind of don't need to be there. So it's just getting the contract and the offer created as quickly as possible. Then I'm able to start my process. And then when the deposit comes in, conveyancers all have the information they need, and it's kind of, yeah, cutting out the double handling, but um
I
it
know you
doesn't,
make it work. I know you make it work, but
yeah, it is what it is. I'll make anything work. So
talk to me a little bit about that. Sometimes there's some false understandings with agents about what happens in different sales types.
Hmm.
So sometimes agents with a subject to sale offer, they don't process that at all. And then you're getting deposits.
So I guess we just work off each individual case. Sometimes, as long as I'm getting an email with instructions,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I can do what's needed as long as I'm getting the documents and I've got the agent saying, "Hey, can you please send this out to X, Y, and Z?" I can do that. So, and if there's anything that needs to be entered into Agent Box, that's extra to what the normal process is, we'll just run through that each individual matter.
And I just want to clarify here and put it down on record. The best scenario is emailing you because you've got a record.
Yes, emailing because I have a file for every single listing, and by law we have to have
Yeah.
files in the background to what agents do for 7 years, I think it is. So I am a big emailer. Even if we've had a phone call, I will follow that up with an email just to save it to file, just because you never know what can happen down the track. Agents might need correspondence years down the track, and I want to make sure I've got that.
Yeah. And the reason I said it's best to email Emily is because we've got 200 and whatever amount of agents. We've got 200, what'd you say, 215 or something amount of contracts?
215,
Yeah,
yes.
215
And that's
contracts.
low. That's low. Usually
So
it's a bit higher than that.
that's
So
400 potential conveyancers and whatnot. And then I might have an agent go, I tried to ring Emily and she didn't answer.
I will put it out there between 4 and 5. I am not answering my phone
Yeah,
because
you're
settlements is a priority at that point because
yeah.
the quicker I settle a property, I guess the quicker everyone gets paid.
Absolutely, absolutely, and we all like that aspect of the business for sure.
Yeah.
What are some of just out of curiosity? What are some of the different things that you have to do in different states? So currently, we're in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and WA. What does it look like in some of those different states?
Well, New South Wales is the main one that's different, and that's where the conveyancers are looking after the contract. So some agents in New South Wales might send the sales advice direct to me, and I'll send that out to the conveyancers, and then they'll send us the exchange contract once that's gone through the process. Some agents might send the sales advice out and just include me in for New South Wales, and then it's just a matter of just making sure we get the exchange contracts when they are exchanged. South Australia. They're great. They're super easy. All states are really quite easy, I guess, but it's just New South Wales. We don't have a lot of contracts in New South Wales, so it's just still a learning state for me. I'm learning as I'm going with New South Wales, but
Yeah.
um, Queensland, yeah, they're great. They're
Queensland, South Australia, and WA are
WA,
all quite similar, although
yeah.
there are some little nuances that are very important and
It's
different.
just making sure the supporting documents with the contracts are going out. So, disclosure statements, body corporate, title searches, just making sure they're all on file because I can only send out what's in agent box.
Yeah.
Um, but like I said earlier, if you're not able to upload anything into agent box, just email it and I can do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's not make that a habit crew, but there is support there
There is.
if you get stuck somehow. But yeah, no, that's good. Emily, I know you've got an appointment that you've got to go to shortly, as I'm conscious of time. Are there things that you wish you could say to agents just to help them through their process to avoid frustrations? Is it a good idea for some people if they haven't done something in a while for them to come back to one of your meet and greets or
Just email. Just if I send an email, just write back and let me know you're all good.
yeah,
Communication. And if I've got a response from an agent saying, okay, I'm just waiting for X, Y, and Z, I'll back off. I will
yeah,
not harass you. But if I don't hear from you, you're probably going to get an email from me every 2 days.
yeah. We don't know if you're dead or not,
Yeah.
or like it's
And then I'll workplace chat and then I'll call and then I'll FaceTime. Like I'll go through the process. But
then she'll contact the
um
licensee when he's do a welfare check just to make sure that you're okay.
yeah, communication's the biggest one. It fixes all issues.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very easy as an agent either to be not very busy. And so you think, oh, I'll get to that. And then it's 3 days later and you still haven't got to it. Or you're extremely busy and you think, oh, yeah, I'll do that soon. And then you forget about it. And then your
Yeah.
emails bank up just like that. So, yeah, yeah. So now that's really good. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And thanks for everything that you do. I don't know how you juggle all the balls all the time, but you're doing an amazing job with it. And so thanks for taking time to stop in and have a chat with us.
No worries.
All right. Thanks so much. And you're getting love in the chat as well. So very good. Thanks for joining us, everyone, on this AMP session.